In this episode, are you truly able to maintain physique, strength, appearance? Can you look like you train 5 days a week if you only maintain with 1 to 2?
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome everyone to episode 318 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular podcast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Everest and K2 flexing on you. Episode 318 shall be lit like a tit, as it always is, live here on Facebook every day at 12 noon Eastern time. Thank you for watching all the episodes on YouTube as well. And you can also listen to every single episode of the Daily Swole and more. Ask Papa Swolio, Beyond the Gains, some other motivational stuff on SoundCloud and iTunes. So you can listen to every single episode right there if you can't watch Papa fucking Swolio. But I recommend watch if you can, and make sure you get a widescreen lens TV. You might only need, I think it's only like 55 inches and above, where you can capture all the gains in high definition. Wait till Papa Swolio starts fucking broadcasting in 4K so you can see all the fibers. Yeah, that doesn't make too much. I guess it does make sense, but that's really stupid. That's really stupid. But eventually it will all be 4K in virtual reality, and you guys will just put your phone up and it will just project like a hologram, like fucking Star Wars, and it'll be like Obi-Wan, Swole Obi, like fucking sitting there like, I'll be like, hello, little young Padawans, I'll just flex on you, yes. Someday, virtual reality is going to take over. I'm going to be in each and every one of your living rooms or your car. It's going to be creepy. It's going to be weird, but it will happen at some point, and you know it. 318. Well, I'm going to drop some knowledge bombs today, so make sure you get in your fallout shelters. Make sure you get ready for all this knowledge fisting, because it's coming down upon thee. It's coming down upon thee, and it's a Monday. It's a Monday, and we're going to be talking about maintaining physiques. And I've been getting a lot of questions lately about my physique. What do I do to maintain? And someone's like, oh, what do you do to maintain your physique? And I say, fuck you. I'm still growing, bitch. It's like that's an insult. That's an insult. Maintain? Papa Swolio fucking Normous? Maintain? Homie don't maintain. Homie's always growing. No, it's not true. But I'm always trying to make progress. And here's the first kicker, is that I don't like to set up my brain for maintenance, right? I don't like to plan for maintenance, because planning for maintenance is almost like planning to fail. You know, you always gotta shoot a little bit higher. You always gotta go a little bit more into, you know, for a goal. You always gotta shoot a little bit higher than just maintenance, because then you're probably gonna fall short. You know, there's so many variables. You don't wanna just go in and be like, okay, let me give this much effort. And that's not what maintenance means. Maintenance doesn't mean you go in and kind of work out, you know, kind of hard, or you put in 60% effort because you don't want all the results. No, it might be because your schedule changes. And there's a couple reasons why you might try to maintain. But here's why I always try to grow and develop. And not necessarily grow physically, but grow and push forward. Because first off, I don't like the mindset of maintain. I don't like the mindset of maintain. The mindset of maintaining is the concept is real. I understand when people ask me. It doesn't mean that they are doomed for failure, but the mentality of aiming to maintain is kind of like setting yourself up for failure. You should always be looking to improve. So for example, if your schedule changes and you're unable to lift, let's say 5 or 6 days a week, you can only do 1 or 2. Well, there are other things that you can work on that can make you improve. Will you be able to maintain as much muscle mass? Probably not. However, you are able to work on other things to strengthen them in terms of your fitness, doing more yoga, adding more yoga into your practice, adding some more meditation, adding some more stretching, mobility movements, maybe if you're traveling a lot. There's a lot of different ways where you can still always keep improving, but you always want to try to strive for more. Now, of course, if you're trying to build muscle and you can only work out 2 days a week as opposed to 6, it's going to severely limit your ability to grow, but you can still try to always trudge forward and do the best that you can. It's just that mental switch of thinking maintenance that kind of shuts you down and kind of tucks your tail between your legs, like you have no chance to improve anything. And that's not true. You have to look at it the right way. Make sure, those of you that your names are popping up below that are sharing the broadcast, thank you so much for sharing the broadcast. I appreciate it. Shout outs to all those people. Thanks, Sean Midget, for sharing it, and everyone else. The names are popping up when you're when you're hitting that share button, and thanks for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. Remember, that's like clapping. It's like round of applause for gains when you throw those thumbs up, so I appreciate that as well. The general idea of this episode is, can you maintain your physique? Can you maintain your physique? And the answer is kind of like yes and no, because there are genetic freaks out there. There are people out there that can do a lot less once they get to their goal. And it depends on what your goal is. If your goal is performance, you have to maintain that performance. And you all will know if you've ever done cardio, if you've ever done some running, if you ever did cycling or swimming, you know, or even yoga, you know, if you stop for a week or two, you lose those adaptations very quickly. You'll be really out of breath when you start doing your cardiovascular activity again. You'll be feeling stiff if you get back into practicing yoga again after a week or two off. Your body loses mobility and cardiovascular capacity the quickest, more than strength. Your body will maintain strength longer after you kind of stop a strength training program. So it really depends on what you mean by maintaining. Are you trying to maintain performance? Are you trying to maintain that visual look? Like for me, for example, if I don't work out for a month, I'll still look like I exercise. I'll still look like people will know that this guy either works out or has worked out or works out on occasion. Like he does weights. He lifts because I have that structure. You're not going to like shrink up and disappear and like, you know, go into like the mist like a fucking White Walker, you know, in Game of Thrones. You're not going to disappear. But your body will adapt. Your body built muscle and built endurance and built mobility based on adaptation, right? Your body has developed and gotten the way that it is because of adaptation. You have put it in an environment where it needs to maintain muscle. It's being exposed to external force and it's having to build muscle to defend itself. Your body has developed more mitochondrial density and a greater network of capillaries to handle the blood flow for the oxidative capacity to perform, long distance running or cycling or whatever you do. Your body has lengthened tendons, ligaments, and musculature in order to handle the range of motion and the yoga flows and the posturing, whatever it is. Your body will adapt based on the constant force that's being put upon it. So whatever you do, your body will adapt to. That's why it's a jack of all trades, master of none. That's why CrossFit is very injurious, because you can't master many, many different styles of training. You cannot. You could be decent at them, but you cannot master any because your body is not able to excel in many different areas of adaptation. It's just not physically feasible. There's always going to be, you're either going to be like, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be a carpenter. That's why a human can be amazing at a couple specific things. Like if your brain is very analytical, or your brain is very creative, you could be exceptional in one direction, but very rarely are you amazing, like absolutely amazing, like genius level in many different areas. Because the body really just fucking focuses, and your skill and your adaptation and what you practice can get really good, and you can get your mastery, but it's usually on one track, like you're very specific. So what do you want to maintain? Do you want to maintain the way you look? Well, maintaining the way you look is very subjective. If you think you look good, is it to the untrained eye? Is it to someone that doesn't work out that will look and be like, oh, that person looks great? And I'll have people come up to me and say, oh man, you look great, this and the other. And I look and I'm thinking like, well, I got to work on this. Because you get used to the way you look. You get used to what you have on your body. You get used to the way your definition comes out. You get used to your physical appearance. And other people don't see you every day. And compared to them, you're like, wow, oh my God, you're in such great shape. And I appreciate that. And I accept that. And I know that I train. I know I have a good physique. But I'm always looking for the best. I'm always looking for better. I'm always looking for ways to improve. And plus, you get used to seeing your own body. So you lose that kind of like awe-inspiring, like, oh man, it's not as amazing to you because you're used to having this. And you're always trying to change and, develop yourself. This is separate from being happy with what you have. This is learning how to understand adaptation and maintenance. So if you're looking to maintain like a general physical appeal, I will tell you for a fact, I look different, I feel different, but I look different physically when I'm training 6 days a week than when I do when I'm training 1 or 2, because of muscle quality, water retention, just muscle fullness. Your body will look different. If you want to look like a bodybuilder that trains 6 days a week, and here's the thing, a lot of people want to look like these people in fitness magazines, which is unrealistic anyway, because you're not that person. But you might want to look like someone, I want to look like Papa Swole. Okay, great. Well, how many days a week do you work out? How long have you been working out? think about all the different variables, but also if I'm working out 4, 5, or 6 days a week, you're not going to look like me by working out 1 or 2 days a week. Even if I am working out 4, 5, or 6 days a week and I start working out once or twice a week, there's no way I'm going to be able to look the same exact way as I do when I'm working out more frequently. Your muscles are not as full. You're not as, for example, you don't maintain that kind of just the shape, the muscle quality, the density, and not to mention strength, flexibility, mobility, all those things. So it's unrealistic to look like another person. It's just not even unrealistic. It's just false. Like you never will. But it's unrealistic to assume that you can maintain. I mean, think about this. Think about the ego. Think about the ego or the misconception. And I'm not saying you can't regulate or I'm not saying if you start working out once or twice a week, all of a sudden all the hard work, you'll just be like flushed down the toilet. But think of the concept. If you're working out right now, let's say you're training 6 days a week. Let's just use that example because I always like to give someone a day. 6 days a week. Just think of like the ego and just the concept that I'm going to maintain what my body has adapted to. My body looks the way it does right now because it has adapted to this style of training 6 days a week. I am going to keep this. I'm going to keep the adaptation of my body looking, feeling, performing at 6 days a week by only doing 1 or 2 days a week. How? How the fuck are you going to do that? How are you going to do that, Merlin? How are you going to do that? How are you going to pull that one off, Swolcrates? I mean, fuck. Like, how is that even possible? You can't. You can't. Now, I'm not saying you should not go down to like once or twice a week or deloading. That's why my program, the 90-Day Dash, has the primer week. It has those deloading weeks. Remember, we talk about deloading, taking off volume, backing off for a little bit. I mean, your body needs recovery. I'm not saying that you should always be training hard forever. That's a whole different concept. But what's going to happen is, you cannot train once or twice a week. And here's the thing. If you achieved your body by doing once or twice a week, then of course you can maintain it once or twice a week. But if you achieved the way you look training 6 days a week, you're not going to be able to maintain that. That's a pipe dream. Can you stay close to it with once or twice a week and kind of, trick people that aren't really into fitness and you kind of look the same? It doesn't mean just because you go back to once or twice a week and you maintain a really quality diet, you're not going to gain 100 pounds back. I mean, don't worry. You're not going to blow up like, Augustus Gloop from fucking, Willy Wonka. You're not going to blow back up, but at the same time, you're not going to have the same physique. You learn a lot more about your body, but at the same time, if you didn't get that body and didn't get that way by training once or twice a week, you're not going to be able to maintain it as per once or twice a week. And it doesn't mean you're going to lose all your muscle. Doesn't mean you're going to gain all your fat back, but you will definitely lose your performance. You'll lose your strength. You'll lose, not all of it, but you'll lose a percentage of it. You'll lose your muscle quality. You'll lose your maybe definition. It depends. But what's most important to you? Not to mention, you're not going to notice. You might think you're training less. No, I'm still maintaining. But you're also watching a teapot boil. You're not going to notice the subtle little body fat percentage here and there on your abs or your stomach or your arms. If it's slow over the course of time, you're not going to notice that until you try to go back training hard like you used to. Then you're really sore. At the same time, you're also getting older and your body's getting more exposed to different things. So training 6 days a week now, let's say when I'm 65, just because I'm training 6 days a week, I'm not going to look the same way I do now. I'm not. It's just human nature. You're going to start breaking down. Your body starts deteriorating over time. So I'm not going to be able to, just because I work out 6 days a week doesn't mean I'm going to get the 6 days a week result that I'm doing today. And then it comes down to even more concepts okay, you're training 6 days a week, but what are you doing on those 6 days? My 90-Day Dash program, those of you that are doing it, it's not high intensity, heavy weights 6 days a week. There's a lot of Swolga. That's my yoga. There's a lot of mobility and flexibility. You're doing stuff almost every day. If not every day, but you're not training fucking heavy as hell every day. So there's a big difference with that. Training 6 days a week, what are you doing in those 6 days a week? Are you even doing the right things 6 days a week? People say they go to the gym, I go to the gym 6 days a week, and they look like shit. It's well, you might as well be going to the fucking mall because you look like trash. You're not doing something right. You just obviously don't care or know enough or you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right because just because you go to the gym, just because you have a membership and you walk through the door doesn't mean you can get results. So my point is, once or twice a week, you're going to get a once or twice a week body at some point. at some point. Once or twice a week exercise, you're gonna get a once or twice a week body. Some people have amazing DNA and genetics, and they can maintain or gain or grow or define with less than most people. It's just the way it is. Some people are freaks. Some people are fucking freaks. Now, if you look like you train 6 days a week and you train 6 days a week, it just makes sense. It's logic. It's logic. It doesn't mean that you're not an anomaly. It doesn't mean that you can't maintain what you're happy with. Now, here's the thing. Training 6 days a week can be very challenging. And let's say you back it off to once or twice a week and you are happy with like what physique you have, going back to once or twice a week, like you're maintaining, you're not at the peak of 6 times a week, but you're looking good, you're feeling and you're happy with that, then you won. Yeah, I mean, don't misunderstand me. Like you won, like you got what you want. That's what you want. That's good. You have what you want and you're putting less work in, and if you're fine with that, that's okay. That's okay. But it's like watching a teapot boil. You're not gonna notice those subtle changes. You're not gonna notice yourself subtly sliding back down the hill. Those little changes every day, you might not notice how much progress you're actually losing. But if you're okay with it, that's different. Just don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted with the maintenance part. I don't like the word maintenance really. I might use it like vernacular just because it's like part of like the fitness vocabulary that everyone says, like the word transformation, which is also kind of bullshit. But don't get it twisted that maintenance is something that's a good goal. If you think maintenance, you're gonna fall short of maintenance. If you're thinking maintenance, you're thinking about not getting better. You need to always be improving, you need to always be looking for the next level, because if you're not, you will slide backwards. Because as you go on, as you have more experience, as you have more exposure, you're getting older, your body is getting more adept, your body is getting more damaged. You need to start looking at more yoga, more recovery techniques. Your body needs change and reprieve, but maintenance leads to disaster. Maintenance leads to falling off. Some people might be able to pull it off, but if you have that mentality, you gotta switch it off a little bit. You gotta tweak what you're thinking about when you say the word maintenance, and understand that once or twice a week equals once or twice a week physique, more often than not. And 6 times a week can, nothing's guaranteed in this life, can and will more likely look like someone who does train 6 days a week. And you'll get more results, but it's up to your schedule. It's up to what you really want, what makes you happy, and can you even pull it off? Thank you so much for joining me for episode 318 of the Daily Mother Swole. Obviously, the most muscular podcast in the realm, but that's because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Thanks for watching every day at 12 noon Eastern time, watching on YouTube and listening to the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. Those of you that are in Swolenormous Premium, I will see you at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's about half an hour for our weekly accountability meeting. And remember, if you have any questions below, drop the hashtag AskPapaSwolio. Going to be filming a lot more of those this week. If you haven't checked the ones yesterday, check them out. Got some great content on YouTube coming up this week, so stay tuned for all of that. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. And let's fucking absolutely crush Shmonday. Peace out, and I will see everyone for 319 tomorrow at 12 noon.